I never get tired of seeing that intro. I love it. And guess what? Today is the 24th of August. It's Tuesdays with Teens Learn to Drive, and we are joined by some of the team. We've got Joseph and Anton, and we're going to be talking about truck safety, being around and navigating trucks, trucky things. We like big trucks, and we know how to be safe around them, and we're going to share it with you. Now, before we get into the business of trucks, we are going to talk about, well, we're going to talk about Vision Zero Enforcement Team. And today they're in 11 and 41 division. Now, what is the Vision Zero Enforcement Team, you ask? I'm glad you asked, because I've got the answer to that. They are a team of dedicated officers who augment the already good work done by officers throughout the city. They focus on the big four. Those are the driving behaviors that lead to serious injury and death on our roads. That's speeding, aggressive driving, distracted driving, and impaired driving. And they give tickets to people who choose to drive that way. Now, if you don't know where 11 and 41 division are, you can check out this website. This is the shortened link, but it's a link to our website on the Toronto Police site that gives you all the details of the different divisions and our divisional boundaries throughout the city, so you can figure out where you are, and thus you'll figure out where they are. Now, if you don't want to meet one of the members of the Vision Zero Enforcement Team, and you probably don't, at least not in a traffic stop situation, I would suggest you don't break any of the rules, because they are out there and they are working diligently to keep us safe. So thank you to them, and thank you to you. And now let me bring on the guys. We've got Joseph and we've got Anton. How's it going?
Doing pretty well.
Pretty well, good.
Yeah.
So we were chatting before, and we're gonna play some videos. We're gonna talk about what you guys have on the Teens Learn to Drive website in relation to trucks, because it's really good information, and people get hurt with trucks. Did you guys see the video that OPP put up? It was a dash cam footage of a car that happened to wanted to change lanes. It wanted to do that in front of an 18-wheeler, and it did that. And the 18-wheeler then tried to brake and avoid, and ended up jackknifing. It was a big mess, and the driver was injured, from what I understand. But what have you picked up? Because you've been instrumental in making the website that talks about all these messages about truck safety. So let's talk about what are your big takeaways?
I can talk about that. So, being the animator for Teens Learn to Drive and having Anne Marie talk about sharing the road with trucks and how dangerous it could be. Last year we made 5 videos on truck safety and sharing the road with trucks, and even though they are animated, due to the pandemic we couldn't really film outside. With the animation we had to be very precise, and with that preciseness and changing the video just so that it's perfect, just so that when people do apply these tactics on the road, we want to make sure that they are safe as possible.
And this is really, I mean, the biggest thing that I think people don't understand is trucks are big, they're heavy, they have different lines that they can see. So small cars that are pulling up right in front of a truck may be invisible to that truck driver. And it's not because it's the truck driver's fault. It's because people need to know how to navigate around big trucks. So leaving space is a huge thing. Maybe we should start off by that video. Shall we play that?
For sure, yeah. Okay,
I'm gonna go and do this. Let's bring up your site. And we're going to go cutting off trucks, because this is a big one. Let you do your thing.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll narrate some of the video and make some references of when I was making it. So at the beginning, we talk about the true scale of a truck and how much heavier it is compared to your regular car. And some people don't realize this. And when they finally do realize how much bigger a truck is, then we prompt them to drive a bit safer around them.
Yeah, because they can't stop on a dime. Your little car might be able to do a real good job of it, but the more weight you're carrying, the more work it is to slow it down.
Mm-hmm. And this is another comparison in terms of size, a hippo versus a whale.
Wow.
So if you want a true, another point of reference.
A big size difference for sure.
Mm-hmm. And here we get into the technicalities of a truck should be 5 seconds behind you so that they are given enough space to stop in case.
Yeah, and that's that whole stopping distance concept. So that's where a lot of people make mistakes. They got to go. They want to make that quick lane change. They jump into that space that is either makes you invisible to the driver, or you're in such a proximity to the front bumper that they don't have anywhere to go if they have to stop. They're going to stop in your car.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And here is a true representation with real life video, just so you know how dangerous it could be if you don't properly share the road with trucks. And you make sure you don't cut off trucks, because it could turn into a sticky situation.
Yeah, and here's another thing. You notice that there's cameras in those trucks. They have dash cams more often than not to protect themselves because they need to. So because so many drivers aren't giving them the courtesy or respect that they deserve. They need to have that space. So let me take this down. Is there another video that we? Oh, actually, we'll come to this after. If there's another video, we can always play it. But yeah, giving them that space, letting the big boy on the road be room. You wouldn't go to a big dog that you didn't know and run up and pet its nose. You shouldn't do it to a big truck either. It's just not safe.
Mhm.
So aside from space in front of them, how about space behind them? Did you guys ever talk about that?
So during our time with Vision Zero, I think we touched upon that with more of our shorts. Space behind trucks, stuff like making sure to see their headlights. One important thing that I didn't know that we had to do was, in order to be safe, like make sure you can see both of their side windows.
The mirrors?
Yes.
Because people get right up behind, and no one realizes that if you can't see what's going on around, you don't know if there's traffic on either side. You have a big uh, board, a sign that says whatever trucking company you're behind. You have no vision. You have no exit strategy if things should go bad. You have no early warning. If they hit the brakes, you're into the back of that truck. And they probably won't even notice that you're attached to them as they continue driving. And I've talked about this a number of times. I investigated a collision years and years ago where a straight truck, which basically a cube van with a big box in the back of it, I think it was about 25 foot, it rear-ended a cement truck. And the cement truck didn't even feel it. They just kept driving it after the light changed and was dragging this other vehicle behind them. They don't know. It's not even their fault. It's they're an enormous vehicle and it doesn't communicate the way your car does. Someone bumps into your car, you're going to know. A giant truck, maybe not. Turning and being in that circle of danger, vehicles like that, especially articulated ones that are hinged, tractor trailers, they take a tremendous amount of space to maneuver. And I still see people who just walk right up to the side of it and think it's safe. So how do you guys? Now going back to a second, you guys are G1 and G2. Are you both G1?
I'm G1.
I am a
G1?
G.
You're a full G.
Yes.
Okay, so it's always good to have the contrast. How do you feel about driving around big trucks? I mean, now, Anton, you're still going with your dad, right? Now and again, getting experience. You're brand new to driving, but Joseph, when you're out there on the road, how does it make you feel?
I know for me, okay, for especially when you're driving on the highway, there's a lot of trucks like commuting back and forth. So like you come across those a lot. And when I first started driving on the highway, it was very intimidating because there'd be so many trucks and being able to merge and stuff like that was a little bit scary. And even when you're driving on the highway and you're passing by these big trucks, let's say there's one on this lane and then this lane and you're in the middle, it can be a little bit intimidating because you're in such like an enclosed area. And I know for some people that's like a big like irrational fear. So at least for me, it was a big change to get used to.
When you say irrational fear, is it irrational? They are really big, and they do have risks if you're not navigating and giving them that space. So it's not completely irrational, but at the same time, what do you find is the best way to deal with that discomfort? I guess.
I guess it's like to be like the best driver you can. Like nothing's bad is gonna happen as long as you're driving safe on the highway. You're following the roads. You're giving like trucks kind of like the safe distance that you need. And if you're following the rules on the route, the rules on the road, then there's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. And you made me think of something that Scott Marshall says. Scott Marshall joins us usually on Fridays. He's the safe driver. He's a podcaster and instructor, and he always talks about giving people right of way. But I want to sort of adapt that, and it's giving space. You can't take space. I mean, you can't. If you choose to take that, well, you can take space. If you take the space, you can't get it back. But giving them the space they need to maneuver will keep you safe. Will give you options. So I like that. In terms of the website, anything that we can point to that you think we should talk about? You got all these great videos. If there's anything you want to highlight, let me know.
It could either be staying on topic, like with sharing the road with trucks. There are a lot of great videos on that if you want to reference. Maybe pick one that seems interesting to you. We could talk about it, or like any video.
And I think specifically for these, like, because we've put a lot of videos, there's a whole playlist based on trucks and like in regards to driving around them. And I think putting out these videos, especially for like new drivers, would be like really beneficial because I feel as if once they start driving on the road, they don't really take into effect like how big these trucks are, and they kind of take it for granted and things like that. So it's important to kind of highlight it. and like let them know that this isn't something to like kind of pass by.
For sure. I'm throwing up your socials for Teens Learn to Drive. So Teens Learn to Drive is TL2D today on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And your content's being shared on all of these platforms all the time. Do you find that there's a lot of what's the feedback you get? Are people really absorbing it and appreciating it? Do you hear the feedback?
As someone who does check our social medias from time to time, we do try to target like multiple age ranges, from such as TikTok, where we try to target like the younger adults, but then Facebook, we get multiple feedback from some of the older generation, and we do take into account all of it, and all of it is nice feedback, and it's great to see that we get to have that range.
I'm always curious. Sorry, go ahead.
And I think like in regards to like the social media like stuff we put out, since like we have a full team of like videographers, animators, and things like that, we're able to make like different videos reaching out to like certain like areas of expertise. So like for example, we can have like a video, like an actual video that's being like recorded and everything, kind of edited in a real way, and then Anton and I can do this like, small animations. So like it gives a little bit of a contrast on how like safe driving can be in effect for both of those.
Right on. We got a message from Sergeant Kraft. Good morning, peeps. He's on vacation. Otherwise, he'd probably be in the room with us right now. But yeah, it's always awesome to hear from you, Sarge. Do you have any questions about big trucks? Feel free to throw them in. I'm going to open up actually put the chat room on screen. Anyone throwing in questions will show up here. So if you've got questions about chat, whether it's for me to answer or for, and it doesn't have to be just to trucks. Questions about driving safety, Highway Traffic Act, throw them in there. You're welcome to join in the conversation, and we'll just keep it going. I do have a video that we can throw up, and it's in regards to following distance with trucks. Let me throw that on screen. And maybe you can give us some info on this, Anton.
Yeah, for sure. So this is more on the we were talking about before, being behind a truck and how important that is. So we'll let the video play. So as you can see here, it's a top-down view. Being able to see only the back of the truck and not being able to see other signs, then that could really impede like your driving. Here's what I was talking about earlier: being able to see both of the headlights, and then one thing I didn't know, you should be able to see both of the mirrors. Because one thing I didn't realize is how large the blind zones are when driving a truck.
And if you can't see them, they can't see you.
Exactly.
That's really the only connection. And there's the two car lengths, leaving 2 car lengths behind. These are things you want to do with regular cars. You want to give space, and you just want to amplify that with the big trucks. That's great. So you made all these graphics?
Yeah, for sure.
How did you get the squares to be so accurate?
So that was one thing we were talking about with Henry, since we wanted to make sure it is as accurate as possible.
No, that's cool. I like it. I like the police car. There we go. It's always about the police car, the cool vehicles. Well, I love this concept. Now, we've been talking about trucks, but your site's full of all sorts of amazing information. Is there anything that you would want to point to that's your favorite?
My favorite. Joe, maybe Joe has a favorite he could talk about.
I know it's not necessarily on our YouTube, but on our TikTok, we're starting to do these informative videos, not necessarily related to trucks, but we're in the process of making like these videos in regards to helping reverse in or parallel park and things like that, just so like they can kind of like have an idea and an animated idea of like what to do in these scenarios.
Right on. TikTok doesn't translate well when we put it on screen, so I won't pull it up right now. But something that from all of your experience that's come to you, that's if there's anything that resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you as to what you think Teens Learn to Drive and experiences that relate to things that you've done with Teens Learn to Drive would be great to share. But I'll give you a second to think about that, because Sarge wants to know, can I use my RV to tow a car and a boat at the same time? Asking for a friend. Have you guys ever heard of this tandem towing concept of towing multiple trailers simultaneously?
No, not really.
No, I don't think so.
Probably because it's not legal. It's something that we get a lot of questions about. Maybe it's legal in other jurisdictions. It's not permitted here for non-commercial vehicles. This is a situation where you would have a truck and then carrying let's say a camper, and then behind the camper a small boat or other trailer. So just not legal in Ontario. It's commercial only. And generally speaking, when you have a commercial vehicle, it's going to be. Oh, actually, it's in my truck. Yes, but that, you know, if you want to give them one of those, you can just keep it, and that'll work too. Sorry, we got multiple things going on here. Okay, nothing like jumping off the screen to completely throw your rhythm. That's okay. We have someone who needs some equipment from our office, and we have all sorts of equipment here. So. Let's see here. So yeah, going back to the towing, not permitted, not safe. But it sort of comes from I guess the concept of these land trains. Have you seen? This goes back to our trucks. These super long 18-wheelers. I guess it's more than 18-wheelers because you're adding another set of wheels. They have a conversion dolly, and then behind that they have another trailer. I've heard them referred to as land trains. Have you guys seen them?
No, I don't think so.
I think I might have passed by, but like now that like you're referring to it, I might actually have like an idea of it.
So effectively, it's something twice as long as a regular tractor trailer combination, and I love it. Sarge wants to take everything and the kitchen sink when he travels. So, and if you had a double, I guess 253-foot containers or trailers, you could take the whole house. But those have all sorts of restrictions. You can't take them onto or off the highway. They're regulated as to where they're allowed to go, and then they have to meet up with other trucks. They break them down, and then you go into the city. So there's all sorts of rules, and then people want to do this with their personal vehicles. It's not safe. Amanda says your RV should have its own kitchen sink. No need for an extra. That's a good point. All these side conversations. So the. This Teens Learn to Drive, you guys are wrapping up for the year. How long, or you just had the year-end event or the Teens Learn to Drive, the major event. What was it called? The
Vision Zero Youth.
Vision Zero
Youth Network Conference.
Okay. See, that's lots of letters. Lots of letters. How did that go? I appeared at the very end of it to say a few words, but how did it go?
So I can talk about the events that I was in, and then Joe can maybe speak on some of the events he was in. But for sure, it was very great. Like it grew to a point where we had 25 ambassadors, 25 high school students, where they were trying to promote safe driving. And with that number, 25, it did seem a bit overwhelming at first. But after getting into the actual conference itself and meeting all the students, it went really well. They were all very engaged, and this is something that I would hope we could do next year again for sure.
I hope so too. I hope it'll be in person next year. I'd love to come out. The catering was different this year.
Yeah, for sure.
No, everyone did it remotely to be safe, and it was really great. I was really impressed that everyone was able to participate remotely so effectively. Now, these are ambassadors that are going to be taking the information that you've basically trained them with back to their schools to be able to arm them with knowledge to help share traffic safety messaging. Did you get any, or did anything really stand out that really resonated with them, or any feedback from your new ambassadors, the things that they oohed and awed at the most?
Okay, so during the conference, one thing that we did is we did these little training stations, and that pretty much each member of the team kind of went over what their role is, and we kind of trained them on like how we do our roles. So for example, me and Anton went over our graphic design skills. We taught them how to use our program and everything. So apparently the feedback from that is that they really appreciated it, and they really liked learning about all of our roles and positions. So that was something they really took away from.
Cool. And actually, this is perfect timing. Sarge says, you guys represent the future in road safety. Very impressed with your engagement for youth by youth. That's awesome. The concept that this is driven so much by young people. I mean, it's an organization that is really there to educate and help mold minds to be in the right, I guess, state to go in with the knowledge, not learning on the job. You're giving them all the tools ahead of time so they can make good choices. Now, if someone was watching this, whether it be a parent or a new driver, and they want to get your information and they want to get the full experience, where would they start? Is the video library or?
Yeah, the video library is definitely like a good first resource if they want to check, because what I like about the video library, it represents a timeline of becoming a new driver. It has all the information that you need there, but then also intermediate drivers, like they might not know, like for example, sharing the road with trucks. maybe some people have not had that experience, and we do try to provide that experience.
And I think like even just like on our homepage, like you have it pulled up, Sean. Like if you just scroll down, you kind of get like a pretty good idea of like the detailing in regards to TL2D. And it highlights some of our like main videos, highlights some of our sponsors as well. And also like brings us to our social media page. That's also something they can go to. Like check out our Instagram, our TikTok, things like that. It's like I feel like that's a great idea or a great reference point to kind of learn stuff.
Actually, here's a great example. You've got these posts across the bottom, and that's essentially what we see on your social media platforms, on Instagram and whatnot, and a different message for every day. So there's constantly a stream of suggested content that you can go in and get tidbits to get you through your stuff. I love the Mom's Monday message, just little tips to get you through safely. Things about putting your. It's not just about safety. It's not. It's also about what to do in the event of a collision. What to do. Have an emergency kit. There's so many different aspects of safety and planning that go into your site. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
Now these are, I think, the Instagram ones. Is there a favorite message? And by the way, did either of you make any of these graphics?
Yeah, I actually did. So do you see the Visa and conference countdown? There's like today, 1 day left. So I made
Yes.
those. We
Okay.
I made them in like a bunch and we kind of just like uploaded them. Like we planned them ahead to like upload based on like what date range. And then the Words of Wisdom Wednesday is something I also created. So like every week we kind of get a quote and we kind of showcase like the importance of safe driving. So this week was actually from Anne Marie Hayes, who's our president and owner of TL2D.
Right on. So it takes a lot of voices to change driving culture with the Vision Zero Youth Network. We believe we have what it takes to make it happen. That's Anne Marie's quote. I was a quote. I was honored to be a quote. I did an interview with Cam, and then I ended up being a quote.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a T-shirt with it so I can
hang it up on your wall.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And Sarge loves the daily themes. He's throwing in from he should be on screen, but that vacation.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that the daily themes, that's something that we were able to create as a team, which was one of the things that when we came together at the very end of the conference, like what was one of the things that we appreciated the most from the experience, and that is like our involvement in it, like being like young drivers, and Anne Marie, her allowing us the opportunity to really like show our ideas. That's something that we appreciate a lot.
So how did you get involved with Vision Zero Network? Sorry, Teens Learn to Drive. I'm jumping around. How did you get involved with the Teens Learn to Drive to then get involved with creating the Vision Zero Youth Network?
I can say my experience, since I technically came first before Joe. Basically, I applied to be a graphic designer at Teens Learn to Drive last year, and even though my expectations was to just create graphics, over time I was able to learn a lot about driving even before I was able to drive on the road. And speaking with Anne Marie, and especially with Anne Marie, comes with those connections in the driving industry and talking to people. Like that changed my experience by a whole lot, and I learned a lot from that.
So you've been exposed to all sorts of things, and now is your plan? Excuse me. Your ultimate plan to continue in design and animation?
Yeah, for sure. And if anything, like I now know, even when designing, I really try to take in the information that the company tries to provide, whether it be driving or any other industry, I guess.
So in creating, you've through osmosis learned all the lessons because you've had to play with thousands of frames, I'm sure, of information.
Yeah. Correct.
And Joseph, what about you?
So me and Anton actually like knew each other prior. And Anton kind of like recruited me into the TL2D area. So I joined in as another graphic designer. And I was able, since I've been working there since about January, I was able to learn a lot about driving and just graphic design in general. And I have like Anne Marie to thank. She was able to give me a great opportunity to learn about these things. And even like design related, like there's a lot of designers on our team as well. And then working with Anton, I was able to learn a lot about just like experience in general and really improve like my capabilities.
Now, did you have your G license when you joined the team? You already were G?
I did, yes. I got my G in October of 2020, and I joined the team in 2021, January.
Okay, so is there one particular thing that you learned, having already been a G driver, that you didn't know when you were before the team? I'm assuming there's tons of stuff, but is there one that really stands out?
I know there's like different areas or like there's different ways to kind of do your own parking and things like that. Everyone kind of has like their own comfortable positioning and things like that. But as I was working on these animations with Anton on parallel parking and reverse parking, it's just like a great way to like see all these different kind of techniques that people use, and like the one that we kind of taught to kind of help out with these parking skills. That's one thing.
So you taught a particular parking skill?
Yeah, like pretty much. Yeah, I was able to like learn these like different methods of like doing these kinds of techniques and things like that.
Any examples?
So for example, Anton, if you could kind of help with like the actual positioning of the like reverse parking, for example, we went over like the different animations and stuff, and kind of just like making sure the steering wheel's in the correct place and things like that. We have like a little animation made. I'm not sure if it's uploaded yet, but like we kind of showcase that at the bottom.
Okay, so things to look forward to is we're going to have a steering wheel, reverse parking, something animation. I'm looking forward to it. I really like all your content. There's a racer that, have you seen the video that I'm talking about? The Hinchcliffe video?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. And there's so many great. Have you met any famous people as a result of being with Teens Learn to Drive? No, they kept you in the dark.
You can definitely look at our social media and show, because James Hinchcliffe is one of them. And then we have famous people from all platforms, like TikTok accounts with like hundred thousands of followers. That's one thing. And we met you as well.
Well, but we've had a number of chats now. But like, did you get to meet? Was Hinchcliffe's video? Was before? I'm guessing you joined.
That was last year. So that was during my. That was after I joined. Yeah.
But no, he didn't take you for a race in the car.
Sadly, no. That was during the pandemic, so I don't think you could have.
I'm kidding. But there's some great opportunities, and I look forward to continuing to watch all your content, because there's great stuff coming. And if you don't already follow everyone here, check them out on TikTok. They're really starting to pick up a speed there. Hopefully, we're going to do some live sessions on TikTok soon, but you can get them on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, all at TL2D today. And that's their username. So you can also get them at teenslearntodrive.com. That's their website. And now Cam, who's not here today, but was originally planning to be here, is a journalist who's always doing interesting interviews. He interviewed me. It was amazing. And his interviews go up as well. So if anyone watching is interested in catching that, definitely subscribe to their social media content and catch them later. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. There's a bunch of things that I need to talk about in terms of following us, but and I'll do it real quick. If you don't already follow us, folks, you can get us at on Twitter at Traffic Services. Let me just go on to pick up my button. Hey, my button pressed. There we go. I didn't press the button. I had help with the button pressing. So you can follow us on Twitter at Traffic Services. You can get it at Instagram. It's Traffic Services Toronto. You can also get us on YouTube, where all of these episodes are archived, and that is Traffic Services Toronto Police. But the most important place where we play every day is going to be TikTok. We are at Traffic Services at TikTok. So check us out there. You can always ask us questions in the Q&A. You can hit it'll put in basically a video request. You can comment on videos. We respond as much as possible. Or the most amazing thing is jump on 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday. We are live on TikTok answering your questions. It's a Q&A session, and it's like a fire hose. We had like 560 people in the room yesterday, 400 and some odd today. Really amazing. Tons and tons of activity. We have some magical moderators who help us keep it classy, keep it rolling, and it's a lot of fun and very informational. So if you are, hey, look at that Discord. There's a suggestion that we should possibly talk about the fact that we have a Discord server, and there might even be a link right on the screen. We'll put the link in the description as well after this video saves. But you can join our Discord community and answer or not just answer or ask questions. You contribute and be part of the community. That is the Traffic Services group. So we're having a lot of fun there. Anyway, we're going to sign off for the day. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you so much for being part of the show today. Had fun having you, and we'll chat again soon. Next week, Anne Marie's coming to talk to us as we wind down the season with Teens Learn to Drive.
For sure.
It's been a busy ride, but yeah, school's starting. And what are you guys doing come school year? Are you back in a program? Or are you shopping for jobs, or what's going on?
That too. And personally, still helping out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like,
Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm just like helping out with the Anne-Marie TLTD stuff, things like
Okay,
that.
cool. All right, because New Year's, new times, all sorts of things happening. It's very exciting. Anyway, it's been a blast, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.